times 2. Let's do a quote from this season.
Helps if you eat bread.
Well, that was a quote. Hello, everyone.
You gotta stop and start again?
Well,
Hello,
I can
Dirty
cut
Dan.
Editing out.
I can cut it all out.
He'll fix it in pre.
We're not stealing jokes anymore.
They haven't made the joke in so long.
I don't give...
I'm inclined to push you up the
It's-
sewage flat.
It's fine to reference other things, Max.
We made it into like a whole running joke on our show.
Running
Come
joke.
up with
Wait,
our...
what? Do it in pre.
I'm here with... my name is Max, the original cheapest critic. I'm here with
The Madison.
boys. And,
The boy and girl. The lady and the gentleman.
Well, I mean...
Figure it out.
A woman is only a man with wom before.
Oh. So you're saying that...
We're all humans here. We all... Genders mean nothing.
Everybody's a man, but sometimes you say whoa before it.
No, you're a man.
No, you're a man. Man.
So...
I was just thinking about that song the other day.
So how you guys feeling?
Like garbage?
Wait,
Well, we
me...
had an interesting mix of media this week.
So we all got sick in between
Oh, yeah.
the last episode and now. We're well, Madison's fine. She recovered already. Me and Justin are recovering. I'm basically almost
Y'all got
healthy.
blasted last week. I got blasted 2 weeks ago.
Well,
Yeah.
wonder where he got it from.
Yeah.
No, you can't blame me because Max also got it. So it
Oh,
just
yeah.
means it was something that was going around.
You know, I haven't
I'm
seen you
near
in
you.
a while. So we have a lot of interesting news as well as shows and movies that we watched this week. So let's start off with our box office. So last time we did the show, Beetlejuice landed, and it destroyed all competition at the time, and it overperformed. Your head is so close to that remote. I was scared that you were gonna hurt yourself.
What do you mean? I'm good.
So Beetlejuice
Play.
overperformed. I don't know if she's playing it. Then, the weekend after, we had 4 new wide releases. They included God's Not Dead 5 in God We Trust. I don't know what this film is about. I only know the first 2, where an atheist teacher is derailing a kid for believing in God because he hates God because his girlfriend was taken away from him.
That goes on for 2 movies?
No, he dies at the end of the first one. And he believes in God again because he gets hit by a car, and a priest runs up to him and is like, you could be dead right now, but you can use the time that you got left to talk to a God that you don't believe in. And then he says he's sorry to God, and then he dies.
Yeah, I wouldn't,
Okay.
I wouldn't waste my time like that.
The second film is about a teacher, and she gets asked a question about Jesus Christ in class, and she answers the question, and some snitch is like, this woman's talking about Jesus in the classroom, so she gets fired. So they gotta go to court and talk about, I guess, God's not dead.
Preach the word of God.
Yeah, this did not do as well as the first 2. I have no fucking clue why these movies still exist. I guess they make money because these are cheap ass movies, and Christian folks don't have any standards. We had
Does it say God in a positive light? I will be there.
Yeah, seriously, oh my goodness, you can tell I'm still recovering because I hadn't been talking like this in a while. But the only good religious movies were the 10 Commandments and the Prince of Egypt. The Bible is a whole rich thing. Like, you can tell interesting stories, but we always have to, like, be so preachy. Propaganda. Like, they're interesting stories. Just let them play out, like, dramatically. But oh well. We can only have one epic story, I guess, be told. You guys have never seen fucking God's Not Dead, so not really worth
Nope.
having a whole discussion. So the Killer's Game bombed. It's going to lose a bit of money for Lionsgate. We're going to be talking about Lionsgate a lot this episode. But it opened with $2.6 million. This was supposed to be a new John Wick. No. Me and Justin both had it in the top 10 for us. And, yeah. I was saying it was a risk, but yeah. I had it at my number 10. Justin had it at his number 8. And Madison did not have it in her top 10. She dodged that bullet.
Hell yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see if her... Like, she has a lot of, like, indie movies and potential, like, Oscar candidates. So we'll see if that comes into effect. My Old Ass is getting expanded this weekend. So we get to see if it...
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of trailers for that.
So we get to see if it actually will...
I believe I had that one on my list, didn't I?
It's a number 8. That's why
Yeah.
That's why I brought it up. Justin, why did you put this in your top 10? And what do you think went wrong?
Well, I put it in my top 10 because it was like a John Wick-esque looking movie. And, you know, I thought it looked fun. What went wrong? I don't know. Not enough people fucking going to the theaters at this time.
No. You cannot use that excuse. We'll talk about...
Justin loves using that excuse.
There's no fucking way. Like, the Furiosa thing made me so pissed off because, like, there's no excuse for that. Bad Boys came out a couple weeks later and slapped its ass. So, like, you can't... Like, we cannot use that excuse. It's 2024. It's 4 years after that. And John Wick still exists. Nobody is getting a sequel. So these type of movies can do well. My theory is that the movie is mid, and the critics that saw it were like, it's not really notable.
People also don't really go out of their way to see original IPs anymore.
Beekeeper. My point. If Beekeeper can make $70 million... And that was the comparison I was saying. Like, maybe it has, like, Beekeeper, like, cheesy, schlocky potential. It did not. But, you know, that's why the fall season is a lot more interesting. You can take a lot more risks.
I think it still looks schlocky.
Yes, but it didn't make its money. Then we have Am I Racist? This is a film by The Daily Wire. The documentary is a Borat-style film about how he needs to infiltrate the woke mob and become a influencer, and how white people are evil, and how he needs to change the Washington Monument into the George Floyd Monument. And that's all of them. And I saw the trailer, and that's literally
funny.
That's literally every single joke. Like Borat, there's 2 layers to the joke in Borat. How fucking ridiculous Borat is as a character. But then you can also have the joke of, oh, these people actually believe that Borat exists. And he's a real person. And also say awful, ridiculous shit to him. But the whole thing is like, oh, isn't it wacky how the youth these days say ridiculous stuff? Oh, whoa. Whatever.
Can we get some cricket noise in the background?
Yeah.
Can we edit that in?
There was also a controversy about Jeremy Jahns, who did blackface for Blade, reviewing the movie and liking it. So, I mean, that's all what you need to know there. So, yeah. Hopefully it doesn't make this fall top 10, because I would be disappointed in humanity. But we'll see. Then we have Speak No Evil. The trailers are finally gone. The movie actually underperformed a little bit. It didn't do as well as they were expecting. $11 million.
People got trailer fatigue.
I don't know. Like, because that type of overexposure typically works okay, but I don't think. I just think it's like kind of a niche premise to begin with, and like word of mouth for horror movies, I do think that you need that swell in order to get that attention. And you don't even need to make as much money as this movie's making, but the whole conversation is about how overexposed it was, rather than the movie itself, which apparently is really good. I was sick, so I couldn't see it yet. So we also had that in our top 10. I had it at number 7. That actually seems like a pretty good place seeing how it's doing right now. Justin had it at 9, and Madison did not have it in her top 10.
Nope.
Taking some risks. Kind of respect. Kind of like how Justin was doing during the summer. He picked movies that he liked to see succeed rather than putting his business hat on. And I think he was trying to like 4D chess the box office charts this time. Like, yeah, kids movies. That's where we're going in. All in on kids.
Nah, he still made some wild decisions for the fall.
Oh, we'll talk about it. So, the next weekend had also 4 wide releases. The first one is Jungkook, I Am Still. It's a documentary about Jungkook.
Could have told you that one.
Yeah. It's a concert movie, whatever. Here's an interesting one, though. This movie is called The Substance. It was made by Universal, but then they sold it because they found out that it was too weird and too disgusting for them to release. So Mubi, the streaming service that YouTubers advertise, bought the rights and put it in theaters. It's about Demi Moore as an aging actress. And Dennis Quaid's about to fire her because she's old and nobody wants old actresses anymore. So she takes a black market drug. So she grows herself a new body, a new, younger body that works on Gremlins rules.
Oh.
Apparently, it's really good.
It can't get wet after midnight, or no, it can't be fed after midnight.
I don't know. I'm excited to find out because apparently this movie is very interesting.
Don't put them near water and don't feed them after midnight.
So it might be like a consciousness thing. Wait, it's because she becomes a new, different actress, Margaret Qualley. So it's a fun concept at least, and it's from the director of a movie called Revenge. That's a badass movie right there. Then we have Halle Berry's new movie, Never Let Go, also from Lionsgate, also bombed. I had it on my list, the only one that I put on my list. I wanted to take her. Just don't put Lionsgate's movies on the list, I guess. It opened with $4.5 million. I had it at number 8. Womp womp.
Womp womp.
Yeah. But here's one. So Transformers 1 came out, and it underperformed. Despite like everything should have been working in this movie's favor. It had good reviews, good audience scores, great audience scores, but people just didn't want to go see it. So I have a theory. I did see the movie, and it's actually good. Transformers movies, they're not good usually. So I have 2 theories, positive theory and negative theory. The positive theory is that the trailers for this movie were weak, they were unmemorable, and they were way too kiddie. So when you actually went to go see the movie, you were excellently surprised, and it turned out to be way better than you were expecting. However, the negative one is that people want the frat bro jokes, the sexism, the racism, the fact that it's live action. And that's possibly a factor to why the Michael Bay movies did so well. And
I can definitely see
say,
a section of men going there just for Megan Fox and other oily women.
Yeah, I didn't even care for Megan Fox. I was gonna say.
I'm not saying all men. I'm saying there's definitely a section of men.
Not enough Michael Bay, not enough Linkin Park. in the trailer.
It did not have either.
Not enough explosions.
Well, like they were trying to market, I think, towards kids.
Yeah.
Obviously. But when you watch the movie, it's not.
That's why it's like a what, PG-13?
No, it's PG.
PG.
But like you know, there's still murder. There's a ton of murder.
It's robot murder.
Yeah, that's why they're able to get away with it. Samurai Jack rules. I love that. Yeah, it's a fun movie. I feel like people are definitely going to discover it. This is the exact same situation that happened last year with Dungeons and Dragons, except that movie got screwed not by bad, horrible trailers, though the trailers for that were kind of weak too, but being released in March up against John Wick 4, Creed 3, Scream 6, Shazam 2, but nobody gave a fuck about that. Like all those movies coming out back, and Mario. Back to back to back to back. Like, what do you think Dungeons and Dragons was gonna do? A new IP that people think is for nerds, and then you go see it, and it's like, oh, this is like one of the funniest movies in years. That movie's hilarious. Chris Pine, God, underrated. If there was an opportunity to recommend that at some point, I do. I hope I would remember, but fun movie. I think you guys would enjoy it because I don't really care about D&D aside from my Shrek D&D campaign, where Farquaad used the power of his rat brain to kill me. But besides that,
you weren't there for that era.
So rat brain in the drama club was testicles.
Moving on.
But yeah, Transformers 1 suffered the same fate, I think. Like Paramount just needs to fire their marketing department because the trailer sucked for this. I had it in my top 10. Justin had it in his top 10. Here's a fumble for Madison, though. It was not in her top 10. Listen. Do you have any theories for how it went wrong for Transformers, or just more of the same?
Just did not expect it to do. I am not a big fan of Transformers, so I could not.
That's not the name of the game here.
Well, I know, but I could not adequately speak for the Transformers fan base.
I have no idea.
I did not know.
I don't really know the Transformers fan base either. They're not really online.
I did not really know that y'all were still going strong with that.
Apparently not.
Well, enough for it to be
top 10.
Yeah.
So we got new movies coming out this weekend. So I guess I should speak next weekend as well. So we got My Old Ass getting its wide expansion. It's currently made $600,000 in limited release. It's number 13 as of now. In 30 theaters, by the way. So it's gonna go wide. Then we have Vindicating Trump. This is a documentary about how good Donald Trump is.
This is a foul week for movies.
I'm sure it's selling 2 tickets right now. I only heard ads on Twitter, so you kind of know what you're expecting. The Wild Robot, the newest DreamWorks film, apparently is a masterpiece. I will try to see it when I can.
Still not sure. Does that movie have any dialogue?
Yes.
It does.
So how they get around it is that the robot translates the animals in her brain. So she's able to understand the animals and their celebrities. But apparently they're well-cast celebrities in this one, at least. So I would have just been fine just hearing Lupita Nyong'o speak. But whatever. Then we have Megaopolis, the $120 million passion project from Godfather. We'll see. It's not looking good, but it's looking better than the other Lionsgate movies so far this fall, which is a fumble for me. I was not expecting Megaopolis to do well. It's not going to do well. It's impossible for this movie to do well. But Better Than the Killer's Game is definitely a choice, but it's definitely like a curiosity factor with this, because either you love it or you hate it, and I feel like I gotta see it just to like experience like what the fuck this movie is, because I've seen reviews that it's like, this is the worst movie I've ever seen in my entire life, and then there's people like, man, this is like misunderstood. Like, I actually really like it.
The trailer, because we watched the trailer 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, or around
Yeah, whenever we
a
watched
while ago.
it looked very weird
Yeah,
and like
Didn't capture me.
it was like Star Trekky.
it doesn't
kinda?
look commercial to me, which makes sense. It's a self-financed movie, but
Yeah.
Then we have Azrael, which they're really screwing this movie when it comes to local theaters, because they're only playing it at 8 o'clock at night and 10 o'clock at night. So yeah, it's not. I'm sorry, Justin. They really screwed you over on this one. Why are they re-releasing It Ends With Us? Whatever, that's a waste of space. And then we have a new Indian film, both in the Telugu and Hindi language, called Devara Part 1, with an actor from RRR. So,
Never seen that.
Me neither.
that is a...
I've heard
I remember
interesting
you
things.
liking that one. That's
oh
like
God. It is a masterpiece.
that's like a Bolly film, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it is. Like, if you're looking to get into any Bollywood film, that is the film that you go see. And
I did watch the dancing scene from that very
God,
famous
it's
dancing scene
so
with the
good.
suspenders.
Oh yeah, that's not too. It won an Oscar for that. That is fucking banger of a movie. If you want action, there's action. If you want romance, there's romance. If you want bromance, then we has bromance. Tigers, fucking musical numbers. It literally has fucking everything. I remember it was over at my grandma's house, and she was talking to me, and it's like, oh, I really liked RRR. I sat up in my chair, like, you saw RRR as an 80-year-old woman, and you and you jived with it. That's great. But yeah, and then next weekend, it's time for the Joker.
Oh boy.
The next weekend has 2 new wide releases. We got Monster Summer. I have no idea what this is. I probably should have played the trailer today, but whatever. I can't remember everything. It's a movie starring Mel Gibson, directed by Justin from Wizards of Waverly Place.
Oh no.
You were talking about this one, weren't you?
Yes, but I never got the trailer. It's supposed to be the new Monster Squad. Let me read the synopsis.
Certainly, Mel Gibson hasn't gotten even crazier as he's gotten older.
When a mysterious force begins to disrupt their summer fun, Noah and his friends team up with a retired police detective to embark on a monstrous adventure to save their island. Well, that sounds like
Mid.
box office gold. And then we have the controversial, the interesting Joker Fali Adu.
Hi.
Yeah, we'll see. It's feeling like a Megalopolis situation also. But the first Joker is also like that, where you either really liked it or you really didn't. So it kind of looks like the same exact situation's happening again. Will it make the money, though? That's the thing. The tickets are looking down. But Lady Gaga just released her new album, which is for Joker, and we'll see.
I don't know. I don't have great feelings about it because I really, really enjoyed the first Joker, but just from the trailer,
I think we all did.
It looks like I'm not gonna enjoy the second one.
Well, the first trailer was really good, and then the second one they started doing. I have no idea how the musical segments are gonna be.
Yeah.
It makes sense because in the end of the first movie, he's singing. He's in his happy Zen mode, which he watched the TV show, and the musical numbers were part and part of the levity in that. So I get it from a filmmaking perspective, but in terms of audiences are against musicals at the moment. So
am I.
Well,
God.
the fact that you gave West Side Story a 4, but
4
4 out of 10 is fucking crazy. Anyway, we're okay. But yeah, Joker comes out that weekend, and we'll see how these movies do. But we heard some news about Wild Robot and Megapolis, but we don't know the official numbers yet, so we have to wait until 2 weeks because Justin needs another break.
Yeah.
He just needs a
Well,
week off.
You know, to be fair, Madison has said that she also enjoys the break, so.
I do.
Well,
I enjoy having a little
the
breathing
running
room.
gag is just you at the moment, so.
The running gag only makes fun of you, so that's why it's funny.
Look, it was either the week break or I quit. So you
Or
choose.
I quit. So you didn't really give us a choice there, did you?
You came in that day, it's like, nice.
It's just like,
I
you're not
fucking-
fucking listen.
I fucking had it with fucking Banana King of Fruits.
Good.
That was the week. So, we watched a television show this week. It was my choice, I guess, so I'll explain
Who's
it.
your chaos pick?
Unfortunately, I have regretted this.
Why?
For Chris.
So
It wasn't that bad.
Before we say anything, I'm gonna go ahead and let you
Alright,
know. I think we should continue the season.
what?
We should. We should.
Well, it doesn't matter at this point. Well,
Can we announce
that-
what it is?
that's all, folks.
You'll find out in 2 weeks what we watched.
Oh my god.
No vote required there. So we watched The Sweet Life on Deck, the sequel series to The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. And I only chose this over Zack and Cody because it was worse. And I remember this show being worse, and I was looking for something bad but odd to use for a chaos pick, and it somehow got picked.
It's
It's
definitely
Definitely
got
worse.
things it can improve on.
Definitely worse than the original.
It is definitely worse than the original.
And that's instantly apparent as soon as you see the fucking CGI cruise ship.
Yeah.
So, the fun fact, Disney has a strategy when it comes to their popular sitcoms because they like to make money, but they also don't want to pay their actors too much. So, what they did, after the third season, their actors typically see a salary increase. But if they make a whole new show, they don't need to do that. Now, do they?
Yep.
So they made a whole new series with them traveling across the world. And it was cringe.
There's a lot of cringe.
So, the plot of the show is that they are on this boat to go to high school, except we barely see them in school. So they go into some fun shenanigans on this boat, interacting with guests, their fellow students, which we only meet like 4 of them, aside from one episode, and they only have one teacher. God. But essentially, it doesn't really matter. It's just an excuse for them to have hilarious shenanigans.
It's just goofiness on a cruise ship. There's really no... There's just subplots in this show. There's not like a main plot. It's
Well,
just like,
it's not serialized. It's not a serialized
Well, yeah.
show, aside from the first 2 episodes.
it's just like
But I guess we introduced the
Cody
characters
and
first.
Bailey are dating, or they will be dating.
Well, we got Zach and Cody returning, because obviously Zach is the cool, rebellious guy, and Cody is the neat freak. And then London's also here. That's the comedy relief with Mr. Mosby. And
Comedy relief?
yes, she is.
Definitely.
More.
No, I like her. I mean, I don't
No.
like her as much as
we'll
the
talk.
characters on Hotel Zach and Cody.
She seems more of the nuisance in the show.
We'll talk about it, and then finally we got the new characters. the new. Well, we only got one new main cast character,
Bailey Pickett.
and
No, we got well. Woody's kind of.
he's not a main cast character.
He's pretty
he's
main.
a side character.
He's. I
apparently.
mean, he's a side
Like, he's
character.
not in the main cast. Like, you know, like the intro of the show.
He's still part of the gang.
I guess. Like, he is definitely the biggest side character.
I feel like he was supposed to be part of the gang, but they just did nothing with him. So he's just kind of there being gross and creepy.
Isn't it funny that he's being gross?
He's eating. Ha ha ha.
Cool.
Funny.
So, and Bailey is a smart Southern version of Cody that Cody really wants to date, despite the fact that he had a girlfriend.
Yep.
Yeah, they didn't need to even acknowledge Barbara. They could have just either left it alone, you know, it's a new show, we're moving on, or they could have been like, oh, they just broke up. They had to do that in the weirdest way possible, just to get a weird-ass episode plot out of it.
Yeah, they wanted to get
for
some
whatever
sort of
reason.
conflict.
Well, they said it in, like, episode 1. Zach was like, no, episode 2. He was like, dude, you got a girlfriend at home. And he's like, yeah, but... but the seas are calling me. And she is
The calls of exotic women.
Like, so... this show is in the era of Nickelodeon's, like, Dan Schneider, like, Disney Channel, like, Hannah Montana, where they're trying to be edgy and appeal to the teens. But, like, it's super weird to watch this, like, above 18 and just see the weird shit that's in these shows.
Yeah,
Now,
how creepy and predatory Zach and Cody, and then later on it's just Cody with how predatory he is towards Bailey.
but, like, you know, it's not as bad as, like, a Nickelodeon Dan Schneider show, because, like, there's, like, whole, like, jokes in that show that are, like, are unhinged. Like,
there's like whole threads on Twitter of all the adult jokes made in Nickelodeon Dan Schneider shows.
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess, like, it could be funny, but, like, it's super weird because they're actual fucking children. But it's same thing, and there's one episode in this show that's like, what the hell were they thinking? But I guess we'll go through, since this is not a serialized show, I guess we'll go through the episodes.
I mean, they still do have callbacks, though.
Yeah, but, like, it doesn't really matter.
It's very much episodic.
So the first episode is the worst episode, in my opinion. The Sweet Life Sets Sail. We get to meet all the characters and the new dynamics, and let's go out to see what this world has for...
Stop it.
Yeah, so...
Get some help.
I had that stuck in my head the last 2 weeks.
So, the issue with this episode is that it's just... So they have the school, right? And we barely spent any time, like, establishing, like, okay, the ship itself or anything, but they have, like, a whole 5-minute scene of them going into the science lab, and oh no, there's an octopus, oh no, it's pretty funny. And then they have the subplot of, so Bailey is...
Justin had a dirty joke that he made during that episode.
God.
Yeah, because they're all tossing this fucking octopus around, and then at one point, Cody's pants become undone, and the fucking teacher walks back into the room and sees 4 students covered in octopus ink, and one of them has their pants down, just standing there in his boxers, and he's holding the octopus. What's that look like to you? What's that look like to you?
Looks like in-school suspension to me.
Dan Schneider.
This octopus was just
all they need is
violated.
some feet.
So, God, so that's a whole, like, 5-minute scene of nothing. So the whole plot of the episode is that Bailey needs to get into the school, but they don't have enough girl slots. So she disguises herself as a boy. And isn't it funny how this girl is, like, a neat freak, and Zach is the dirty one, and Cody is the neat freak, and he has his own roommate that's a dirty one. So that's the whole joke. And then at the end of the episode, turns out, they discuss. Like, I thought, like, as a kid, that was gonna be like an actual like plot point that they were gonna keep going with, but they don't do that. It's just for an episode, and Bailey is
What, Bailey being a girl or a boy?
Yeah, that could have been like a whole season.
No, there's no way they could hang on to that for that long.
I don't think she'd be able to hide it for that long.
Oh, no, him and
especially
and,
bunking with Zach.
no, her and Zach could have hit it. Yeah.
If we're talking about a realistic,
They're
good
co-ed,
show.
There's co-ed rooms now.
Now, but they're literally they were literally hormonal teenagers in high school.
Co-ed dorms on that cruise ship is a fucking nightmare. All those men are so fucking weird.
Oh,
I would not want to bunk with any of them.
I mean, yeah. Imagine you get linked
Woody as your roommate. Oh my god. I'd be like, I'm gonna lock myself in the bathroom for the rest of this cruise.
Yeah, you don't get the bathroom.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the first episode is just that. But then London runs away because she doesn't want to go to the school because she gets locked down. There's also a potential racist caricature of this poor Indian girl that, I mean, poor as in, like, poor soul, not...
Yeah.
Just in case.
Well, in comparison to London, probably actually poor.
Stop it.
Yeah, in comparison to the richest person on the show by far.
But I didn't notice anything too unhinged in this episode besides that. But yeah, I guess excluding that innuendo that you told me. Thanks. So episode 1 sucked. Episode 2 was actually kind of funny.
Parrot Island.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Justin take this one. We're gonna switch.
Oh boy, we gotta go in depth for each one now.
I mean, you don't have to go.
This is gonna take forever.
Don't go in depth. Just talk about the episode.
Parrot Island. They fucking go to this tropical fucking island, and they find out that all the parrots are fucking gone because London's dad is a dickhead. And he had all the trees cut down, so all the parrots were like, nah, fuck this shit, we out, bro. And they flew to a different island. And so now the island is completely barren. There's only the residents and no tourists.
And we only see one person.
And there's only one guy that works there on the island who has all of the jobs, except he mentions that he doesn't have the job of owning the hat store, and he says that guy makes a killing. And the joke there is that since this guy has 75 other jobs, he has hats to go along with all these jobs, which means he is the sole person that is buying all of the hats at the hat store.
All right, good job. Next episode.
Did you like the episode?
It's fine.
I like the guy.
I didn't really.
He was teaching a Pilates class at one point, which I thought was kind of funny.
So, yeah.
But then this was also their excuse to introduce a pet for Bailey, a pet pig specifically. She finds a pig on the island.
But she doesn't keep it.
Randomly?
It's just that one episode.
No,
she does. He makes a return.
Back.
Does he?
Yes.
I didn't see him in any other episode.
We'll get to it. Then we have episode 3.
Oh no, because I remember. Okay.
Episode 3, Broke Na Yo-Yo. This episode pissed me off. This episode's fucking terrible. Not him. He's innocent. So
innocent.
Nah, he's
Pardon?
a dick.
Innocent?
He's going up and down.
Then up, then down.
No, the real culprit of this episode is Zach. God.
Oh yeah, because he was the one that spent all the student money.
Like, fuck
Yeah,
Zach.
he's a dick. He should have.
And that's gonna be something for the
Cody
whole show.
shouldn't have even been involved in that
No,
plan because he should have been
he
like,
literally stole his money.
Yeah, he should have been like, my brother just took my student card without my permission. Can I get like another one and have him be credited for that?
Mr. Mosby's like,
said fuck you to him.
Mr. Mosby's like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. You guys both suck.
Mr. Mosby is kind of mean. He's a meanie. He's gonna run me over.
don't.
We had to get that in at least once.
But do you guys like this episode?
Honestly, no.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was just a setup to get their jobs. Which, like, that can work, but the whole premise of yo-yo competition, and they lost because he was semi-pro.
No, like, he won. But then...
No,
Yeah, he won.
But he lost because he was semi-pro.
Yeah, but then he
got kicked
won
out.
The money.
Well, yeah, they won the money, but then they had to... They won $1,000, and they had to give all that up because Zach splashed oranges and t-shirts everywhere. No, that's like
he broke.
That's like $100 in damages.
He broke a couple windows.
A couple windows.
And
maybe it's like
ship.
I don't know.
Yeah, cruise ship windows.
Why are cruise ship windows breaking that easily?
Because it's a kid show.
Well, it's also an orange being shot at like fucking, a decent speed.
No. T-shirt cannons aren't fucking blasting people.
But compare the weight of a balled up t-shirt versus the weight of a whole fucking orange.
It's not that much of a difference.
It's pretty.
No.
Now we have...
I'd bet they're around the same.
Episode 4, Madison, the kidney of the sea.
Oh, yes! This episode was actually pretty good. I like this episode.
It's so stupid.
Simply because it's a ripoff. I feel like this episode happened so early because it's such an obvious joke to make. Like, they're on a cruise ship. There's heavy romance subplots in this show.
I mean, there's 2 plots in this episode. One of them sucks because it's about a pet competition, and Bailey uses her looks to seduce Cody to get him to win.
Judgy wedgy.
So we're going to ignore that. The other one is just a parody of Titanic, and there are a couple moments that actually made me laugh. The origami towel swan and them in the hot tub.
Okay, this is the first episode where we come across the weird age gap thing between, first of all, Zach, who is 15 when this series starts, and then this random passenger who's rich and has a boyfriend and is probably in her early 20s.
They're supposed to be around the same age. Doesn't look like it.
Not from the context of they're getting married when they're 15?
I don't know.
Yeah, they're supposed to be like
that whole. I mean, I guess did they specifically say marriage or was it just dating? I feel like it was just dating.
Yeah,
I don't think it was marriage. Dating.
So,
but they did talk about blending the families, and it's kind of weird if you're just dating blending the families.
It's just
because it's vinegar and olive oil.
God.
Empires that their families each
Those
have.
two don't mix.
Yeah, good episode to be honest. Like, it's so stupid. Like, not half a good episode.
They just needed to make the connection to the Titanic, so they just went with anything.
No, like it was kind of funny. Zach actually having a good segment here is surprising. So then we have episode 5, Showgirls Show and Tell. Justin.
Oh boy.
What did you feel about this one?
Another episode where it's kind of risque. A lot of legs being shown off in this episode.
Actually, maybe Dan Schneider was involved.
And then in the dressing room, you had the one girl who was like stretching her leg up in the air, and it was like borderline cooter shot right there.
Why is this in a kid show?
What Showgirls out of anything? I mean, I guess if you're going for, I don't know, because they needed to do the whole Mosby and teacher romance,
and then also
then also kind of
kids being in an adult place where they're not supposed to be right now.
Like, this isn't super bad.
It's an adult
Super
show.
bad?
that
Like,
they're sneaking
I
into.
didn't think it was super bad levels.
No, I'm saying, like, that's the type of thing that, like, you steep into, like, a strip club or something.
It was like
I think Showgirls is
obviously they don't do
obviously
anything.
the tame version of the leg
Like,
thing was a little
like, that is ridiculous.
with the anklet.
Come
It could have been
on.
a bracelet. Why'd you have to do the foot and the heel?
And then they keep describing it. It's like, yeah.
And then the entire episode, they keep imagining Bailey and the teacher as those Showgirls.
Oh.
The male view.
Oh.
Love it.
Bad episode.
yeah, and then you got Cody. Such a great plan.
Okay, Madison. Next episode is International Dateline. It's Groundhog Day.
Oh, yeah.
With first supernatural thing in this show.
That's all I remember from that episode.
Wolfman Zach. Oh.
Yeah. It's pretty.
Zach was the humor standout in that episode.
Pretty forgettable episode.
Honestly.
Despite the fact that,
It was just
Groundhog's
him
Day.
going back and forth to get Bailey.
I
Did they
need-
even end up at the...
I need her to get with me.
Did they end up together at the end of the episode?
No. They have the
Because-
guy who was flirting with her throw up on her shoes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Zach poisoned him with the
With
shrimp.
the bad shrimp.
Yeah, that's fucked up. There's not really much to say. Then we have Justin. It's all Greek to me. The Greek-
Oh, this is where
That
we
was
meet.
the last episode, right?
This is
No.
where we
No?
meet Arwen's Greek cousin who works in a Greek
Yep,
museum.
it was definitely not Arwen.
when I saw the video chat, I was just like, oh, they couldn't get him to actually show up to set. But then
He actually
but then
showed up.
you realized, oh wait, it's him in a mustache.
Which that's actually kind of funny. Like, that's kind of a troll to the audience. Like, they're like, oh, they couldn't get Arwen. Oh, and then he
the
shows
classic
up.
character.
Arwen!
He's
Unfortunately,
a simp.
Arwen was like one of my favorites in
Poorly.
the original.
Did my cousin Arwen mention anything about me owing him money? No. He's a lying pig!
Okay.
Oh, did you say no?
His shtick got annoying over the course of the episode, but it was fine in the beginning.
Yeah.
But yeah, this episode's boring as well. It has two subplots. Zach and Cody accidentally steal a priceless artifact and give it to Bailey, so they have to return it. And they have a dumbass plan that involves them posing as statues.
And then
Which
they get caught and they
they
learn a lesson.
literally could have just gone to the curator of the museum and been like, hey, you remember when we scuffled earlier and we
Yes.
dropped both of those things? I think we got the real one by mistake.
Or just
Here you
keep the
go.
real one.
Yeah, but
How are
then,
they gonna know?
they would remember.
Cameras. Yeah.
No.
Or just give it to London. She will-
Honestly, give it to London and be like, hey, I own this boat, so like you really can't be mad at me about
And
anything.
that's literally the conclusion to that story arc. And then the other plot is that she needs to write a speech, but she's stupid.
Yeah.
And that's
And at one
It's
point,
also
she tries to
forgettable.
steal the Abraham Lincoln speech.
Then we have Sea Monster Mash, Madison.
Oh boy.
This is the episode.
Oh, this is the one with Gertie.
Sewage flip.
Sewage flap.
Mr. Mosby actually be the highlight of this episode.
That's all we
There
got
were
to
some
say about that
scenes-
episode is just sewage flip.
Nah, I thought it was
Mr.
funny.
Mosby, I heard going
I
going
thought-
further into the show, he shows up less.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, so it just gets worse.
It was funny seeing him come in through the binoculars, just the look on his face. Just such a disappointment. Monster! I would prefer Mr. Monster. Yeah, there's two plots in that episode. Cody tries to rizz up Bailey again
Yeah.
by being her lab partner,
And then they end up getting into a fight because
Because
they're actually a
Cody-
horrible couple and they should not be together.
yes, because Cody's a fucking asshole. But turns out the Loch Ness monster exists after all. Whatever. And
Galapagos Gertie.
shut the hell up. And meanwhile, the other plot is that Zach, Woody, and London need to do a science experiment together because Zach needs someone to work with him. And I mean, that's basically it.
And they end up creating the plant monster from Scary Movie 2.
Whatever. Episode 9 is Flowers and Chocolate, which is
Barbara and Bob.
Yay. Yeah, this episode
Yay.
sucks.
Is this the episode where Mr. Mosby doesn't show up?
No, there's multiple episodes where he doesn't show up. He doesn't appear in the Dateline episode, this episode. I think there's another one, right? Let me see. He was also not in 10 either. Huh.
Is Mr. Mosby's actor in like anything else nameable?
Let me see.
Probably just TV shows, not really movies.
Well, I know he was in because I remember watching this as a kid. They had a preschool show, and they advertised the fact, and Phil Lewis is gonna be in it. In terms of movies, in 2009 and forward, Dad Napped, Beverly Hills Chihuahua 2.
Oh.
The Sweet Life movie show was here. In terms of TV shows after 2010, Special Agent Oso, Wizards of Waverly Place.
Oh boy.
I'm in the band. Phineas and Ferb. Yeah. The really loud house.
So essentially just Disney.
Yeah, he's trapped. He's trapped forever in Kids Land.
Oh boy.
So yeah. Episode 9 is about Cody. We have to talk about how he cheated on his girlfriend, but it's okay because
she cheated on him literally the fucking day that he left.
Like, why is this an episode?
Because they realized how shitty they made Zach, so they had to make Barbara.
You mean Cody?
Yeah, Cody. So they had to make Barbara even more shitty.
Zach has barely been in the show, to be honest. Like in terms of like actual plot lines, like Cody sucks. Actually, I remember like it being the opposite in the regular show, and this is just like oof, all Cody. He sucks because he's a simp.
Because he's a simp.
And
Judgy Wudgy.
Shut the fuck up. And finally we had Boo You, which was about reality online internet shows. Yay. Yay me. Oh yeah, and we have to have a subplot about the security guard.
Kirby.
Yeah, and him passing his GED.
And the whole joke is that he's fat. That's seriously, like, there's 2 jokes in that episode involving him. Ha ha, he's fat. And ha ha, he make funny noise when he nervous.
Ha ha, he get all sweaty.
Yeah, bad episode.
Fat man sweaty run.
At least, London gets yelled at.
Good.
Well, London, like, she did trick London in a previous episode. The nematodes.
Didn't we literally say that if London got punished more, it would be a more enjoyable show?
I mean, yes. Like, she got tricked in one episode that the nematodes were gonna kill her.
The sea snarks.
They were gonna kill her.
They eat red nail polish.
Okay.
Yeah, sea snarks. That's the one episode where Bailey has an accent. And then she drops it for every single other episode.
Oh.
Yeah.
Great first half of the season, guys. I'm so happy I recommended this. I'm so happy we're continuing it.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun.
Maybe it'll get better.
We're gonna have ourselves such a good time.
I feel like this is gonna be one of the shows where we just watch one season.
Well, it's going on the wheel anyway. Dude, after all this torture, we go into the wheel and it picks season 2. That would be like,
That'll be the first time the Wheel's ever done that. Period.
Yeah, but doesn't season 2 introduce the other new
HD.
character?
what new character?
The other kid.
Let me look on
The singer
Is he a singer?
or the rap? He's not a rapper, is he?
Let's look at the cast.
I don't remember what his name is, but I remember
Doc Shaw as Marcus Little
Yeah,
is a
Marcus
former
Little.
singing sensation Little, who comes on the SS Tipton. After hitting puberty, causing his voice to change, he lost his fame and career.
Okay. I just specifically remember there's an episode with him and Mr. Mosby, and they're basically building IKEA furniture, and they're missing a screw, and Mr. Mosby's trying to figure out which screw they need.
God, I hope you're ready.
And he calls it the jerk face, but it's pronounced Jerkafasa because it's Swedish.
Jerkafasa.
Well,
The Jerkafasa.
I can't wait for such episodes in the second half of season 1. Like, let me look at this bullshit. So we got
Well, we have 11 episodes left.
yes, we
season
got
1.
some episodes like the Mommy and the Swami,
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a Indian based.
the Wrong Stuff, Splash and Trash, Double Crossed, and wait, that's a oh no,
Wait, is the mommy and the swan? Does Padma come back for that one?
Mommy and the Swami. I don't know. Let me see. No.
No.
There's a character called the Swami. That's a character. My God. I can't wait. And then the final episode is a crossover with 2 shows. Hannah Montana and Wizards of Waverly Place.
Oh boy.
So I can't wait to watch that. What would you give the first half of season 1?
Like a 4.
Like a 6.
What?
I had-
This higher than what you rated it for?
West Side Story.
Oh my god.
This is.
That's higher than West Side Story for you.
Yes. I actually had fun with some of these episodes.
That's crazy. That's insane.
Sewage flip.
You can have fun with the episode, but then also acknowledge that it's bad.
I didn't say they were great.
You said they were 6.
Yeah.
Cumulatively?
That's around middle of the road.
That's the
It's
same
above
score
average.
That's the same score you gave Alita Battle Angel to.
Yeah.
I can see how it's on the same level as Alita Battle Angel. I mean,
Yeah.
I liked Alita Battle Angel better than this, so I'd rate it a little lower, but like,
Well, the West Side Story slander is insane.
West Side Story. It's solely because it's a musical.
I would rather watch.
You didn't even have to focus on the music.
I would rather watch Alita Battle Angel 10
Okay.
times over before I watch West Side Story again.
There's still plenty of story around West Side Story.
Even with the crappy sound effects that they used in Alita Battle Angel, like the bug getting squished,
Dude.
literally going.
That was great.
Oh my god.
So,
You cannot get any more stock sound effect than that noise. Like,
Justin, it's time.
Snowpiercer.
Wow, you didn't lead up to it or any.
We watched a movie. If you weren't around for last week's episode, we watched a movie called Snowpiercer.
2 weeks.
Big channel.
You needed a break.
Yes.
Stuff needed a break.
Keep it up, and I'm gonna make the break even longer. I'll do a month between episodes. I don't give a fuck.
You won't.
I will.
No.
I'll do it. I will slam the hammer down, and I'll say this is the decision.
She has autonomy. She can come if she wants.
Yeah. She won't, but she can.
What?
You won't drive out here.
I
You
don't
ain't
like driving.
You ain't gonna drive out here by yourself to do a 2-person episode.
Yeah, I won't do a 2-person podcast.
Yeah.
2-person podcast? Who's watching a 2-person podcast? Probably a lot of
you
people.
do. The Basement Yard.
Oh.
Also, anyone who...
I haven't seen that in like 6 months.
Also, anyone who ever watched Ethan Nestor and Jacksepticeye's podcast before it ended, Brain Leak.
No, I haven't seen that.
Anywho, our movie was Snowpiercer, a very, very wonderful film. So full of magic and amazement and fun. And nothing terrible happens in the movie whatsoever. It's all just fun and joy and happiness.
You're so good at describing. You're saying this movie's full of fun, joy, and happiness?
Yeah, take the kids.
Fuck them kids.
Well,
We get to be
what's
in
the premise of the movie?
The back of
Alright.
this train car eating protein bars.
So Snowpiercer.
No kids.
Snowpiercer is a movie starring Chris Evans, all in the center of it.
Who's
Everybody.
the director?
Bong Joon-ho. I don't know if I said that right.
Said it. Maybe not in the best way.
Yeah,
Bong Joon-ho.
that's a
You
little
don't.
bit
We'll go with that one.
Anywho,
Can you just say the name? No.
I'm saying his name, Bong Joon-ho.
There you go.
You're still doing the voice a little bit.
Nah, he's good.
Just say
He's good.
Bong Joon-ho.
Why are you Americanizing it?
It's how his name is.
You don't.
You don't put an accent just because you're saying something in that language.
All right, director Bong Joon-ho.
You sound like a valley girl.
Yes,
You're not,
there you go.
That's not your actual voice.
It's director Bong Joon-ho. Why?
We didn't talk about that. He's been saying that this entire time. Because that episode where London reunites with her rich friend and she goes, why? And Justin fucking loves that part.
You let your butler sit. Director Bong Joon-ho.
I think we got that.
But did I mention that it's director Bong Joon-ho?
And it's a sunny place and nothing ever goes wrong.
Yeah. So the premise is that everything takes place on this train. This train is built by a man named Wilford. And you know, there's different sections in the train. So everyone in the tail section is like the poor people, the lower class, the bottom of the boot. They get the scraps. They're fending for themselves. And then towards the front of the train is all your upper class people, living like kings and all that shit. They get good meals, while everyone at the back gets these protein bars, quote unquote.
It's train Hunger Games.
Not really.
No, not
The
at all.
beginning of it very
You know,
much is Hunger Games,
Watch
and then
Battle Royale
it
if you want
deviates.
Hunger Games.
The beginning was very reminiscent with, you know, poor people and, you know, food crisis and living under dictatorship essentially, and having the bright and colorful dipshit lady come in and complain.
But yeah,
Are you gonna say that it's not reminiscent of Hunger Games?
poor game, poor people in the back, rich people in the front.
Yes.
And essentially,
Bong Joon-ho's got a
Class.
vendetta against rich people.
so
Which period?
and you know what's
honestly.
even every single movie that I've seen from him always touches upon class. There was The Host, which is a fun action horror movie that talks about the American government in South Korea, but you know, rich and powerful influence. Okja takes a little girl from a village, and a rich corporation takes her.
That's the hippo movie, isn't it?
Takes the giant pig. And in this movie, it's pretty literal. And in Parasite, rich and poor families. So I'm imagining Mickey 17 won't. I might do that based on the trailer that we saw today. It could have classism in it. Is there anything you want to mention about the premise before we jump in?
Well, basically the people in the tail part of the train are, they've been plotting for a while on how to, like, make their way towards the front so that they can kind of, like, take control. They're just trying to find the right time. And they start, at one point, the one lady comes in, God, I forget her character's name.
I just call her Tilda Swinton.
Okay.
It's just the actress, yeah.
So Tilda Swinton, her character comes in. Isn't her name Mason? It was Mason, I think.
Yeah.
Mason comes in, and she's like kind of like one of Wilford's underlings. She's like kind of towards the top. And she's like talking to the people in the back. And at one point, someone throws a shoe.
That was Andrew. Yeah. Poor guy.
So at one point, someone throws a shoe at her, and
No, you didn't throw a shoe at her. So, a woman comes and measures children.
Oh yeah,
and takes
yeah.
away 2 children. That guy's kid and Octavia Spencer's child, which we got established in the beginning of the movie. Yeah. And as a result, he throws a shoe at her, and she bleeds. Tilda Swinton comes back later and is like, "We need to punish him." And pretty unique form of torture.
So their way of torturing, So their way of torturing is, or making an example of someone, is they put his arm in a cuff and stick it out of a porthole in the train to stick it out. The outside is like all just frozen over. There was like a fucking nuclear winter that hit the earth, so everything outside is just completely, frozen hell. So it only takes a few minutes for someone to completely freeze to death. So they stick his arm out there so that his arm will just, become completely frozen. And that's how they make an example of him. But with these separate, like, visits, someone tries to go up to, like, attack or whatever, and she tells the guard to, like, put the useless gun down. And Chris Evans' character, Curtis, takes notice of this, and he says, it seems like, she said useless gun, meaning it's possible that they don't have any bullets in their guns, because they had a previous revolution, and they think that the bullets would have been all used up in that revolution. So bullets are basically extinct.
That was a really nice, fun, tense scene when I do have a complaint about the action in the beginning of the movie. A little bit too shaky for me. But that was a real tense scene of him testing,
just walking up to the guard and like clicking the trigger,
and then the momentum of these barrels coming in. And really fun scene. So the movie is,
and they didn't just freeze his arm; they also, after it was fully frozen, knocked on it and then took a hammer to it and smashed it to bits. And then they literally sweep it up. It's gross.
Yeah. So the movie's about this sort of revolution to take over the train. But really it's like a personal, like, story of this small group of people trying to get up to the front of the train to save these kids that have been taken. They require someone to actually cut through the doors. Hack through the doors, basically, to get through. So they wake up a guy who's in train jail.
Yeah, like a few cars ahead of them is the prison car.
It's literally just like crematorium boxes.
Yeah, it's very reminiscent of a morgue, but it's just people that are literally locked away. You need keys to open up their drawers and everything.
And
It's so interesting.
And they have translator devices because this is a South Korean film that they just made in English. So they got here's a casting decision that I wasn't expecting. They got the dad from Parasite to play this character, and I didn't recognize him at first until I actually looked it up. I'm like, wait a minute, he's the bumbling dad in that movie. That
he's a lot thinner in this one too. I will say,
Yeah.
You can notice.
His name, I'm looking it up, Namgun Miso. So he can cut through the doors that allow the resistance to walk through, and he also wants his daughter to come with him. So yeah, but essentially they're just going through the train, trying to fight whatever opposition's in front of them. They discover more about the train, how messed up it truly is. And what did you guys think of Snowpiercer?
I thought it was really good.
The kindergarten scene.
There's a car that is dedicated to teaching kids the
all about
propaganda.
Wilford.
Yeah.
And how Wilford is basically like their god.
We all freeze and die.
And then the Eggman showed up.
I wasn't expecting them to shoot a pregnant woman. She was a... Oh my god, Eggman!
From Sonic?
No.
So,
Oh, no. We were talking about... So, with the Eggman, he brings all these hard-boiled eggs.
Because, Happy New Year, and really it's just a ruse because Justin said earlier, bullets might be extinct. No, the rich...
Bullets are not extinct.
The rich has been hiding them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was your fun twist. I mean, sad for the characters that died. Not the teacher. Maybe her baby, but...
Womp womp.
Her baby would have grown up to be part of the propaganda, too.
Oh, yeah. But I feel like after, specifically that... I think it was specifically the scene of them breaking through. Like, the action scene in the dark that they had. Like, that whole exchange, the firefight, the fight in the, the sauna train car.
Yeah.
Like, the action gets better from there, but really the whole point of the movie is just setting you down in this bleak, dystopian setting, and having these, like, down, dirty characters experience, like, these fancy joys of the world, and seeing this difference in morality, and asking these human questions. That's basically the whole basis behind the movie. The action and everything is cool, and I appreciate it, but I really like what this movie's doing on a supplemental level, in terms of, it's still a Bong Joon-ho movie at the end of the day, and he's still, touching upon these themes in a way where you have these interesting characters. Curtis, the main character of the film, is a fascinating character, and we learn more and more about him as we go. And he's not your normal Hollywood protagonist would be this nice, righteous guy who makes decisions for the people, but he lets his friends and family die in terms of protecting the cause. That's incredibly interesting main character. He's dealing with his past and the actions that he's done in his life. And I think Chris Evans does a great job at selling that emotion. Because a lot of the time, he's not talking. It's the expression on his face and the makeup. And he's his eyebrows. It's just a real striking image that they're able to capture through him. And easily, I think, his best performance that I've seen. I mean, he's been in some dramas, like Gifted, but this is his most dramatic performance. Please stop giving him bullshit to do. What the fuck? Well, no, what are you saying, free guy? What the shit? Fucking bull. Juggernauts. have a thought on your mind?
The Eggman ate an entire egg whole in one scene.
Oh yeah, there was one at one point he's just like,
Oh.
You can eat anything like that, yeah.
You need to calm down if you're doing all that.
An entire hard-boiled egg in one go is just wild.
So, do you think the rich just have a bunch of eggs? Like, we saw poultry bodies, but the way that they wasted all those eggs just kind of like seems like a waste. In this
they're the rich; they can do what they want.
Yeah.
They probably have the sense of entitlement.
Plus, they have
more eggs will come.
They have a garden growing. They've probably got a fucking animal farm on one of the cars that they just didn't show, which is probably where they store all the chickens to get all the eggs.
This is a very interesting train layout because do you have to go through the classroom to get to the other parts of the train?
I see this as more like a fairy tale, to be honest with you. Like, it's a very ridiculous, very charming, very unrealistic. It's a very, like,
Wizard of Oz.
Kind of like it.
And Wolford is Oz.
Yeah, it is that. That's a great. Well, thank you for saying that. I really do think that it works as, like, this sort of like fantasy world, and I do think that is a vibe that we don't really get that much from like big budget movies, because this is a $40 million movie. You can definitely tell it's stretching its budget in a couple places, but I mean, I think that you wouldn't have made this movie in Hollywood the way that it is.
Like where they show what the protein bars are made out of.
Well, there's another reason for that.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. Hollywood. Let's go. So the movie was made by CG Entertainment. Basically the studio that always works with Bong Joon-ho. And essentially, they needed an American distributor to pick it up, so it can make its money back in America. So they went with Harvey Weinstein.
Yay!
So Weinstein wanted to cut out 30 minutes of the movie, and also basically cut out all the dialogue and make it just action. Which, the fucking point of the movie is one thing. It's just setting up this entire ending. That's the whole point, is just like this moral dilemma and seeing the harshness of the back and the carefree nature of the front and these moral decisions that Chris Evans needs to do. We need to see it. And the ending doesn't work unless we see all that. But thankfully, thanks to the internet and also the celebrities, everyone involved saying, wow, that would fucking suck. They decided to release it as it was, but Harvey Weinstein, being the asshole that he is, released it in only 100 theaters. Usually a typical big budget movie gets 3,000 or more.
Speaking of the ending, I really found it quite interesting. It really seems like Wolford is talking to Curtis and explaining how everything has worked so far and how it has been working in the past 18 years that the train has been running. And that Wolford and Gilliam, who was kind of like running the tail of the train. Curtis's mentor, yeah.
And the guy who sacrificed his whole arm, to stop all the bloodshed in the tail.
Yeah.
But we find out that he's an asshole.
Basically that this was their plot all along, for Curtis to one day take over for Wolford as the new conductor of the train. And it really seems like for a moment that Curtis is going to take that position, because he pushes away
Namsoon's daughter.
Yeah. Pushes his daughter back, hold up, you're a poor person. But then she's like a clairvoyant, so she can sense that there's somebody underneath the floorboard, and it turns out to be Timmy, who was taken earlier. And when he sees that, he's like, nah.
Yeah, no. Well, essentially, Namsoon's whole motivation like we think that he's just snorting these drugs that they give him,
Chronal.
which is like atomic waste.
It's like, yeah, it's waste.
So we think, oh, he's just like this drug addict, but no, he's been
Building a bomb.
so he can escape the train because he feels like at this point
The nuclear winter is starting to end.
which, if we find out at the end of the movie, is at least somewhat true. How much, at the end of the movie, when these kids actually get out of the train, how will they survive? Especially when they see a polar bear, the most vicious predator in all of history. How are they gonna live that? I don't know. But you guys were mentioning this off camera, how you felt about that ending and what it meant. What it really means is that life is alive in this new world, and at least it's like somewhat survivable now. It's inhabitable because if this polar bear can live, humans can probably live too. And we don't know if they're the last two humans. It's like this ambiguous ending. I like that. Now it's a little abrupt because I mean it's pretty quick.
It is.
That
The
whole
train
climax.
literally explodes.
Like, they blow up the train. Evans and Numsum both take the hit for the kids.
Yep.
And they pretty quickly walk out. But I feel like it was just more of like they could have made the movie a little bit longer.
Yeah, they the train explodes. She cries about her dad for like 2 seconds, and then they walk out.
Well, I mean,
Well, she's got a little less than 5-year-old boy there that she's also got to try and take care of now.
Yeah.
how did you feel about the other kid just willingly be a part of the train because
He was brainwashed. There's nothing
Yeah.
they could really do for him.
mm-hmm.
He was completely ignoring Curtis, so he went off to his own fate.
of just being in the train.
Also, his dad was also dead.
So is Timmy's mom.
Yeah. But if Timmy's the only one they could really rescue,
And Timmy's dad died too. He got
Yeah,
shot.
it's a pretty dark.
classroom.
It's a pretty dark ending.
no, that was Andy's dad.
Yeah.
Andy died. I thought they were.
Timmy is
Timmy's the
Octavia's
one that has the
Spencer.
mom. Timmy
Yeah,
has
I
the
thought they
mom.
were-
Andy has the dad.
I
And
thought
the
they were
dad is the
together
guy
as.
with the one arm.
Oh, they weren't a couple.
No.
No,
I thought they were a couple
no.
because they were both. I mean, they were both searching for the kids, so I got confused.
No.
Listen,
They took two kids in the beginning of the movie.
I understand that.
So, was there any moments that you felt like were really effective? I think we all remember the dialogue piece of Chris Evans explaining his dark past the most.
Yep.
You guys were making fun of it a little bit, but
I know what people taste like.
I think it was really effective.
It was.
It kind of
She laughed at one of Chris Evans' lines
Oh
when
yeah,
he was
'cause
interrogating Tilda Swinton.
he was like, I should kill you.
I don't remember
He
that.
just gave very odd line delivery there.
Listen, he's used to
Help
being
you?
Captain America.
I should kill you. Sounded like an anime or a anime main character.
Favorite character?
The 17-year-old.
To 17. The girl?
Yeah. Here he goes saying Chris Evans.
I mean, train guard number 10. I don't fucking.
What? There's no...
Picking actually. His favorite character was the protein bars.
The poop.
Oh, the protein bar maker.
That guy was off his gourd.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were by yourself for
Does he end up
17
dying?
years- No. Well, probably.
Well, when the
Well,
train crashes,
yeah,
yeah,
at the end of the
probably.
movie.
Yeah, probably. Do we have anything else that we want to mention? Good scenes or anything?
Nope.
We didn't mention anything about the scene where they have the giant face-off with all those guards.
I did mention it. The black,
The one in the dark?
Yeah, I think that was a really effective scene. It was like very intense. I like how the twist of them using the environment to their advantage. The fact that we established earlier about the fire.
Oh,
and we brought it in.
Chan, the little boy that brings the fucking.
Yeah.
That starts running with the fucking the fire.
Chan's the man!
That was a hype moment. They're losing the fight. He comes in with the fire, and Andrew takes the flame in his one arm, rushes into battle. Sick. I did like when they killed Mason.
When they killed Mason.
Curtis, please, no, I can help you.
They kill Gillian like in a pretty nonchalant way. I like how they did that because like it makes sense.
She means nothing.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect her to be an Effie Trinket character where she gets like a redemption arc at the end.
Oh no,
she seemed pretty fucking terrible.
No, she was dead from the moment you lay eyes on her.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, you know this bitch gonna die. Retribution.
Is it wheel time?
Well, we gotta give her ratings.
This movie was 7.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
I'll give it an 8.
I will also give it an 8.
Woo!
Better than West Side Story?
Yeah.
They both have their strengths. I think that West Side Story is a better made film than Snowpiercer from a cinematography and directing standpoint. But
yeah, there wasn't a lot of cinematography in this movie. Other than
the whole movie is cinematography, Madison.
Well, yeah,
that you noticed.
But no, but like the preschool scene was put together very well. I like how
preschool scene was very creepy.
Yeah,
it was.
Like,
that's why it was my favorite.
It's not like it's a. I just said that West Side Story was a better directed film. I didn't say that Snowpiercer was poorly directed.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, I mean, other than, there was just, like, dinginess for the movie, and then there was that one scene with, you know, the preschool, and then at the end of the movie, it's all clean and white.
So, I'm very happy.
Nice contrast.
And I mean, do we want to like just say a little bit? We saw the trailer for Mickey 17 today. Are you guys excited for his next film?
A little bit. I'm interested in it. I'm not ever gonna say that I'm 100% excited for anything anymore because
Groundhog's
a lot
Day
of things
for dying.
Well, I mean, the days keep going on. Like everyone else knows.
It's just
like
him
dying.
It's just Kenny.
Actually, it's a funny idea for a movie. I'm surprised they gave it $150 million for a comedy, but.
Yeah, I'm not gonna ever say that I'm excited for a movie again because.
Dude, I was excited when I heard Robert Pattinson's voice in that movie. you know, I like to say. Sounds like an absolute loser. Robert Pattinson should get more like awards attention. Like, remember the boy in the heron voice? Dude has fully escaped Twilight.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Well, for me now he's Batman.
We'll see.
I never really. I mean, I obviously did see him as Edward Cullen for a long time, but like after.
Well, he was in a bunch of young.
After the
movies.
Lighthouse.
Oh, after the Lighthouse, and after seeing that movie, I'm like, yep, no more Twilight.
And he fucking hated Twilight.
He definitely knows how to show his chops.
Yeah, I'm happy for him. Give him an Oscar at some point. He'll get one at some point. Kristen Stewart was nominated.
God.
What do you mean, God? She's a good actress. Have you seen her other movies besides the god awful Charlie's Angels?
I saw her in Adventure Time.
Adventure.
Or no, at Adventureland,
Oh.
not Adventure Time.
Yeah, that movie was.
It was okay.
It was weird.
Um,
And I saw her in
I've seen American Ultra.
I saw her
Eh.
in
It just
Into the Wild. Wasn't she in that?
I forgot.
Into the Wild?
She was in Zathura.
Okay.
Oh my god, she wasn't.
Oh yeah, and she had the hots for her brother.
Dax Shepard.
Ah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think right now, like, you know what? I think I know my chaos spec. So, it's time for the movie wheels!
Everyone's favorite
Yay.
time.
So, last week, we forgot to record the genres and the years.
Yeah,
we-
boo.
We ended up going on comedies from the 2010s. So, I decided to recommend a movie I've never seen, despite owning on Blu-ray. The last installment in the Cornetto trilogy, The World's End. The sequel, basically, to Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz.
You've never seen that movie?
Wow.
No.
I've never seen
it's
it
good.
either. It's good.
It's good. I don't think, for me personally, I don't think it's as good as the other two.
I think that's some stiff competition.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
And like
It's
Scott
fair.
Pilgrim and Baby Driver. Yeah.
It's still a very enjoyable movie, definitely. Like, and it's a very interesting premise too. Especially given what he's already got in his movie universes so far.
We'll see. Then, Madison, you decided to recommend.
Wreck-It Ralph. Because Max said I could.
Yes, it's a comedy.
From the 2010s.
Now, here's the thing. I did decide to add animation, even though it's not a genre, as a medium onto the wheel. Because you can
Just for
technically-
some zest.
Because you can definitely, like...
You
if
can
you
get
just-
away with all live action from this.
Well, no, not that. I mean, like, you can do any genre with animation. You can pick
Yeah.
some very interesting stuff, and if we pick, like, I don't know, like a horror animated film,
Especially
you would have to like search somewhere off rip and find something interesting. So I definitely, and if we don't find anything, it's like, oops, another decade. So Justin.
I chose The Voices, which is a horror comedy.
Please, Wreck-It Ralph. Please.
We also have our Ghibli option, Pom Poko,
Oh boy.
Raccoons,
Yeah, let's return to
Raccoons
those.
bouncing on their nuts.
Mr. Krabs.
Let's return to those.
Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs?
Oh God. And then finally, my chaos pick. I actually am like, fuck it. I'll recommend the D&D movie because it's really fun. I'm on a let's all have comedies except for Pom Poko, which is kind of weird.
Comedies and Pom Poko.
Yeah. So it's time for
I
elimination.
swear to
style.
God, if Wreck-It Ralph gets blown out
Well,
first.
you get to spin the wheel.
Wow.
You got the sound
First time
enabled?
ever.
Just click on the wheel.
Yeah, it's got sound enabled.
No, don't
Oh, on the
modify
wheel?
Yeah.
Thank God.
The
The World's End was
has
the
been
first one to come up.
eliminated.
As long as it wasn't
Damn.
Wreck-It Ralph. Now I know I have a chance.
Okay, Justin, you pick.
Please pick me.
Oh, the sound's off.
All right.
Oh,
The
thank
voices got
God.
deleted.
Oh, that's some rough luck.
We're getting closer.
Wait, I gotta pull the sound.
You're gonna find me hanging in the closet if Wreck-It Ralph wins.
No.
Thank Christ.
So
I will find a way to choose that every week.
Wait, you just wait. I just realized that the funniest shit happened.
What?
Back-to-back weeks. The last two options on the wheel have been the Chaos pick and the Ghibli movie.
Now it's doing that. It's
So all the
choosing
work-
how our weeks go.
So, but like we chose, the genres and the stuff, whatever. This is funny.
It's still dictating our lives. It's almost like that's
Oh
its job.
God, I'm
Sound
really,
Either
I'm-
D&D or Pom Poko.
I'm really hoping it's D&D.
I'm hoping it's Pompoko. Please be Pompoko.
What are you looking forward to, Justin?
Oh, please be Pompoko.
D&D?
No. Come on! You were right there!
We're watching
D&D!
the Dungeons and Dragons. Wait, I have to specify. The Dungeons and Dragons movie from last year, not the Dungeons and Dragons movie from 1999 with Martin Wayans.
Oh, that one sounds even funnier.
No. I mean, he has a dramatic death, but that's about it. And Jeremy Irons, he does that. Yeah, seriously, Chaos picked 2 weeks in a row. That's
awesome.
Why do we keep going on these, like, themed weeks, like, where we do, like, 3 weeks in a row the same thing? This is not scripted. Like, 3 weeks of Ghibli, 3 weeks of Matt and Trey, 3 weeks of, it's gonna be 3 weeks of Chaos pick at this point. So now time for we need to limit our options for next week.
The genre and year don't even matter at this point.
Well, it makes us be creative with our actual choices. Madison, you get Chaos pick next week. So, what decade will our movie be from? Let's find out.
Don't be a stupid decade. Are you
the 1940s?
We're gonna have to find a
fucking watching something about Hitler.
We're gonna have to actually do research on this one.
Maybe a little bit. Time for the genres.
1940s horror. Let's go.
Actually, that would be a little bit sick. Who wants to tap it?
I'll tap that.
God. An animation 1940s movie?
Alright.
Fucking Mickey Mouse it is. God damn.
Wait, what came out in 1940? I guess.
Let's see what Letterboxd has to offer.
What Disney movies came out in 1940?
Search.
Of course they add animation to the wheel just for it to get picked.
Fucking Steamboat Willie?
No.
No, he was like the 30s, wasn't he?
Oh, we got some interesting options here. We got
is animation?
Pinocchio.
Oh, they're not gonna let me sort by animated. Oh no, yes they are animation.
I'm looking at Google. We got Pinocchio, Fantasia, Ichabod and Mr. Toad. I'm sure there's non-Disney options.
Führer's Face.
What?
Well, you had to know that.
Oh,
was
Derford.
Oh,
yeah,
that's a short.
I remember that one.
I heard that.
The Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
That's part. It's a package film with
Wild
Ichabod
Hair.
and
Is that the
Mr.
one with
Toad.
Big Chungus?
Okay.
There's not a lot of like long ones.
Kind of limits our option. We still have to pick something that is in our wheelhouse. I guess we should just make the picks here because it's so limited. Like, I don't know what the fuck.
I don't know about that, man. There's so much to choose from. Puss and Booty.
What? What are you talking about?
1943, directed by Frank Tashlin, 7 minutes.
Is that a porn star?
7.
Woman wonders why her little pet birds keep disappearing. Rudolph the cat knows, but other than burping feathers, he's not saying. But it looks like he's met his match when the woman orders another bird from the pet shop, a little yellow canary named Petey. That's all, folks.
Imagine there was a camera and just zoom into my face. Just tears. Tyler, the Creator, tears. Goodbye.